What if I told you that two people can be desperately in love, constantly trying to show it, and still feel completely unloved by each other? By the end of this video, you'll discover the one communication mistake that 78% of couples make that slowly starves their relationship of love, even when both partners are giving everything they have. It's 10:15 p.m. on a Wednesday night in suburban Phoenix. The dishwasher hums quietly in the background as Maria sits at her kitchen table, staring at a bouquet of roses that arrived this afternoon. 12 perfect red roses with a card that reads, "Just because I love you," in her husband David's familiar handwriting. She should be happy. She should feel loved. Instead, she feels a familiar ache of loneliness that these beautiful gestures somehow never seem to touch. He's trying so hard, she thinks, touching one of the velvet petals. The flowers, the surprise dinner reservations, the jewelry for my birthday. So why do I still feel like we're strangers living in the same house? Maria and David have been married for 8 years. From the outside, they look like the perfect couple. David is attentive and romantic. He never forgets an anniversary, always brings her flowers, and surprised her with a weekend getaway to Sedona just last month. Maria is equally devoted. She keeps their home immaculate, cooks his favorite meals, handles all the logistics of their busy lives with the efficiency of a CEO. But lately, something has been quietly breaking between them. It's not dramatic fights or betrayal. It's something more insidious. It's the way David's face falls slightly when she thanks him politely for the roses instead of lighting up with joy. It's the way Maria feels increasingly invisible despite being surrounded by evidence of David's love. 3 floors above, David is in his home office, ostensibly working on quarterly reports, but actually scrolling through his phone, looking at photos from their early dating years. In one picture, Maria is laughing so hard at something he said that her eyes are completely closed, her head thrown back in pure joy. When was the last time he made her laugh like that? I don't understand what I'm doing wrong, he thinks, closing the photo app. I give her everything she could want, flowers, dinner dates, surprises, but she always seems distant, polite, like I'm a nice roommate instead of her husband. The distance between them has become a third presence in their marriage, subtle but undeniable. They go through the motions of connection, goodnight kisses that land somewhere near each other's cheeks, conversations about schedules and logistics, the comfortable choreography of two people sharing space without truly inhabiting it together. Neither of them can name what's missing, but they both feel it. That spark, that sense of being truly known and cherished, has been slowly dimming for months. The breaking point comes on a Saturday morning that starts like any other. David wakes up early to surprise Maria with breakfast in bed. Fresh coffee, her favorite blueberry pancakes shaped into a heart, orange juice in the fancy glasses they got as wedding gifts. He's been working on this surprise for 20 minutes when Maria appears in the kitchen doorway in her robe, hair messy from sleep. "Oh," she says, and David can hear the disappointment in her voice. "You're making breakfast." He turns around, spatula in hand, confused. "I wanted to surprise you. Breakfast in bed, like when we were dating." Maria forces a smile, but he can see it doesn't reach her eyes. That's really sweet, David. Thank you." But instead of feeling appreciated, David feels that familiar stab of failure. The same tone she used to thank him for the roses, the same polite distance she maintains when he brings her coffee in the morning or buys her favorite wine. "Maria," he says, setting down the spatula, "can we talk?" They sit across from each other at the kitchen table, the heart-shaped pancakes growing cold between them. For a moment, neither speaks. "I feel like I'm failing you," David finally admits. "I tried to show you how much I love you, but nothing I do seems to matter. You're always polite about it, but you never seem happy." Maria's eyes fill with tears. "You're not failing me, David. You're the most thoughtful husband in the world. It's just what? I feel so lonely," she whispers. "Even when you're right here, even when you're doing all these beautiful things for me, I feel like you don't actually see me, like you don't know who I am anymore." The conversation that follows is the most honest they've had in months. David talks about feeling like nothing he does is enough, like he's constantly missing some invisible mark. Maria talks about feeling like a stranger in her own marriage, appreciated for what she does, but not known for who she is. "Remember when we used to talk for hours?" Maria says. "Before we were married, we'd stay up until 3 a.m. just talking about everything and nothing. When did we stop doing that? David thinks about it. I guess I thought the flowers and surprises were better than words, more romantic. But I always loved our conversations most, Maria says softly. The way you'd ask me about my day and actually want to know. The way we'd dream together about our future. I miss that version of us. That's when David's sister Emma calls with perfect timing, or maybe the universe's sense of irony. She's calling to thank David for the spa day he arranged for her birthday. You know me so well, Emma gushes over speakerphone. Physical touch and gifts just stress me out, but quality time, that spa day where I could just relax and be present? Perfect. You always know exactly how to show love in my language. After David hangs up, Maria stares at him. What did she mean by love language? Oh, it's this thing Emma learned about in therapy. Something about how everyone gives and receives love differently. She's always talking about it. Maria feels something click in her chest, like a puzzle piece finding its place. Can you call her back? 2 hours later, Maria and David are sitting on their couch with Emma, who has driven over with a book called The 5 Love Languages, and the enthusiasm of someone who has discovered the secret to the universe. Okay, Emma says, settling in with her coffee. There are 5 primary ways people express and receive love. Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Most of us have 1 or 2 that really speak to us, and we tend to give love in the same language we want to receive it. She looks between Maria and David. David, you're clearly a gifts person. You show love by buying things, planning surprises, giving tangible expressions of your feelings. David nods. That makes sense? I love finding the perfect gift for people. And Maria, Emma continues, I'm guessing you're more words of affirmation and quality time. You want to be seen, heard, understood. You want meaningful conversations and verbal expressions of love? Maria's heart starts racing. Oh my God, she whispers. That's exactly it. Emma grins. Here's the thing. You've both been speaking different languages this whole time. David, you've been giving Maria gifts because that's how you would want to receive love. And Maria, you've been showing love through acts of service, keeping the house perfect, managing everything, because that feels like love to you. But gifts don't make me feel loved, Maria says, the realization washing over her. They make me feel guilty, like I should be happier about them than I am. And acts of service don't make me feel loved either, David adds. I appreciate everything you do, but what I really want is for you to be excited about the things I give you, to feel joy, not obligation. Emma opens the book to a page she's bookmarked. Here's a simple exercise. Maria, tell David something specific you appreciate about who he is, not what he does for you. Maria turns to face David, really looking at him for the first time in months. I love how creative you are, the way you see possibilities everywhere, how you make mundane things feel special just by paying attention to them. I love your laugh, especially when you think something is so funny that you snort a little. David's eyes fill with tears. Really? Really. And I love how safe you make me feel. Not because of what you buy me, but because of who you are. Your kindness, your steadiness, the way you still hold doors open for strangers. David is quiet for a moment, processing how different this feels from polite thank yous for material gifts. Now David, Emma says, ask Maria about her day, but really ask. Like you're interviewing someone you're fascinated by. David takes Maria's hands. Tell me about yesterday. What was the best part? What was hard? What are you thinking about lately that I don't know about? For the next 30 minutes, they talk like they used to. Maria shares her worries about her mother's health, her excitement about a project at work, her dream of taking a pottery class. David listens like she's the most interesting person he's ever met, because to him, she is. This, Maria says finally, this is what I've been missing. This connection, this feeling of being truly seen. 6 months later, Maria and David's marriage looks completely different. Not because they stopped being themselves, but because they learned to love each other in languages they could actually understand. David still gives gifts, but now he pairs them with handwritten notes explaining why Maria matters to him. Maria still keeps their home beautiful, but she also makes time for those late-night conversations they both treasure. Here's what they discovered that changed everything. Love isn't just about the intention behind the gesture. It's about whether that gesture actually communicates love to the person receiving it. You can be the most generous, thoughtful, devoted partner in the world, but if you're speaking French to someone who only understands Spanish, your message gets lost in translation. And that's exactly what happens in millions of relationships every single day. The tragedy isn't that couples stop loving each other. The tragedy is that they never learn how to love each other in a language the other person can actually receive. If you recognized your relationship in Maria and David's story, you're not alone. Most of us have never been taught that love has different languages, different dialects, different ways of being expressed and received. Hit that subscribe button right now, because understanding your love language and your partner's love language is just the beginning. In our next video, we're exploring how birth order affects relationship dynamics and why your position in your family might be sabotaging your romantic connections in ways you never realized. But here's what I want you to do right now. Think about the last time you felt truly loved by someone. Not appreciated, not grateful, truly loved. What specifically did they do or say that created that feeling? That's probably your primary love language talking. Drop a comment below and tell me, what makes you feel most loved? Is it words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, or receiving gifts? And be specific. I want to hear exactly what love looks like in your language. If you're in a relationship, I have a challenge for you. Instead of showing love the way you want to receive it, try showing love the way your partner receives it best for 1 week. Just 1 week of speaking their language instead of yours. You might be amazed at how quickly things shift when someone finally feels loved in a way that actually reaches them. Remember what Maria learned. You can't starve someone of love while simultaneously giving them everything they don't need. Learn their language, speak their language, and watch what happens when love finally gets through. The person you love is trying to tell you how to love them. The question is, are you listening?